So if you're an online coach, consultant, or therapist, then you are probably tired of charging by the hour. You are probably tired of only making money when you are on actual client calls, and you might have gotten the impression that this makes your business unscalable because you can only make as much money as much time you have in a day. But in this video, I'll show you the exact step-by-step blueprint on how we created a coaching program for one of our clients who is an online therapist that allowed him to charge up to $1,000 per hour instead of his typical $200 per hour that he had before, without his clients questioning his worth and them actually being eager to join the program and pay up front instead of try to pay by the hour as in any other case. So again, this video is about how you can hit gold on your first try and generate over $13,000 in revenue in just 30 days after launching your group coaching program as an online coach, consultant, or therapist. And this is my promise to you. I will show you the exact step-by-step blueprint on what we did. Let me show you a little bit of proof as to, proof behind my words why I'm telling you all of this. So this is our client Naj, who has generated $13,000 in revenue in just 30 days. He's a licensed psychotherapist. And when Naj came to us, he was feeling uncertain, a little bit overworked, and he was trying to build a scalable coaching program with clear systems, and we helped him achieve that goal. So by building out a structured program, by building out all of his systems, the course delivery as well, and the marketing side of it all, here you can see that we collected in a net volume after all the fees, after everything was said and done, almost $10,000 in the first 30 days. So in this video, I'll be walking you through the unexpected changes we had to make to Naj's offer to actually sell it to his audience, how we booked 25 plus qualified calls in 5 days, why Naj's elite traffic makes him stand out and how you can achieve that as well, how a lack of sales process can actually ruin everything that I'll be talking about in this video, and what sort of outcomes you personally as an online coach, consultant, and therapist can expect when going down this journey yourself. So where did we start out? First, we had to define the offer, but to do that, we had to know exactly who we're talking to. So we had an initial impression as to who our audience was and what sort of people were watching his content and were trying to buy from him. So we had a hypothesis over here that it was an X type of person who was in Y situation and wanted to do Z or ABC goals. And after formulating that hypothesis, we actually picked apart the key factors that we were assuming. Because at the end of the day, you might have a good impression as to who your audience is, but you will never actually know if you don't ask them. So what we did, we separated this statement over here into 3 separate parts: hypothesis 1, 2, and 3. You can read through them if you want to, stop the video and just read through them very quickly. But essentially from these 3 hypotheses, we created a method via Instagram stories where we could actually test these things. And the shocking factor that actually turned out is that 2 of these hypotheses were rejected. That means that 2 of the initial hypotheses were not clearly enough reflective of the true nature of the audience, but they were just assumptions. You can see all of the tests that we did here. And essentially our assumption was that most of the people watching the content were avoidantly attached people looking for help. Obviously, this is online therapy, so this is if you are not familiar with this topic, let's just say that people had X problem and want to do Y. And there is another type of person, more specifically the anxiously attached person, and also the disorganized attached person. Now, the interesting thing was that although we thought that most people were avoidantly attached, it actually turned out that the majority of his audience were anxiously attached because his content just spoke to them in a way that was more appealing to those types of people. And by finding that out, we were able to more clearly define our ICP and realize that we are actually speaking to people who have insecure attachment rather than avoidant attachment in specific. So this is more in a broader term. And this also made us realize that when trying to craft a coaching program, we should be talking in a way where they are resolving their situations more or less individually, not with their partner, because the first assumption was that people are in a relationship. But as it turned out, not everyone is. And actually, the most of the clients that we signed, most of them or a lot of them are actually not in a relationship. They just want to fix their relationship patterns so that when they find a new partner, when they get into a new relationship, then they can actually be fulfilled, be happy. So after doing all of that, we actually asked the people directly what they wanted, they needed, what their common frustrations were. Because after we have been shocked by the result that the people that we were talking to are not actually the people that we thought that we were talking to, then we had the logical conclusion that we had to ask them directly. So the questionnaire that we outlined here is, first we were asking them about why exactly they got interested in this topic at all, what their main goal, their ultimate goal is, what the roadblocks are, what the realistic timeline and their desired timeline is to fixing this problem, and what they have tried so far. So if you want to see a more in-depth video as to how we conducted this market analysis, then please go to one of our other videos that is coming very soon, and it will be linked under this particular video when it's out. So after defining all of this, after defining the ICP, who we're talking to, what their desired state is, where they are currently, and what sort of struggles they are facing, then we had a good base to actually define the offer. Now, I'll be not going into depth as to how we came to this conclusion. This is in another video, but let me just give you a couple of strategic pointers as to, after we have defined the offer, how we actually did get qualified, educated, and ready to buy prospects on sales calls. You see, most people get caught up in getting a lot of people on sales calls, but if they are not qualified, educated, and ready to buy, then you are missing out on a lot of income, and you are also missing out on a lot of peace of mind because you would just be causing yourself headaches. So let me just quickly show you what the two main funnels were that we used to convert people into sales calls and get over 25 qualified sales calls for Naj's offer. So first of all, people started out on his Instagram. Then from his link in bio, he went to the landing page where they watched a VSL, a video sales letter, that is specifically made to take them from an emotional state that they were in before watching the video and place them in a state where they would actually buy a call later on. So then they were directed to the booking page, then to the thank you page. Then they were asked to watch a very particular video that was describing a transformation that they also wanted to achieve. And then here you can see, by the way, here you can see just a turn to the side version of the automation. I will not be going into depth on this one. There will be separate software, more tactical, more strategical videos on this one, but we just really don't have time to teach you all of the GHL backend in this particular video, only high-level concepts that we actually used. So the second funnel started by us constructing the right stories and posts that actually converted people, Naj's audience. From the stories and posts, then they were sent to the DMs via lead magnets and via direct CTAs. And in the DMs, we qualified them, defined their current situation and struggles, found the gap that they had between their current situation and their desired state, and then we offered them a solution and get them to book a call with us, with Naj. And then obviously after the call booking, they were sent to the thank you page, they were sent to actually watch that video that I've just mentioned. And again, the pre-call automations took hold. In the pre-call automations, by the way, we are sending testimonials, we are sending value, we are sending reminders so that people get educated, qualified, and ready to buy by the time the call comes. And obviously showing up is an extremely important in by buying, because if you don't show up, then you can't buy. So by doing all of this and getting 25 plus qualified sales calls, this is essentially the system that we have implemented for Naj. If you want to pause the video and take a look, you can. However, this will be a completely separate video as to how this particularly works and how you can take advantage of a couple of the roles that I've outlined here in the system and make it more scalable, make it more actually higher converting than it was before. So after we have built this out, we have we have got the sales calls, the sales calendar is filled. So now, how do we get enough qualified people to see our offer? How do we get enough qualified people to actually go through this whole process, go through the funnel, and actually book that sales call, and then in the end, buy? So the thing that we did here, we implemented the viral launch protocol. This is obviously Instagram will naturally push direct offers less, so we had to account for that as well. But first, what we did, we established a messaging that actually sells, that is focused on the transformation of, getting people from this point to this point. Then we looked for viral videos which fit the right messaging. Then third, we added value to the video to make it unique, to make it actually add extra value to the market, to Instagram. And fourth, we added a clear and compelling call to action, which made people to opt in for lead magnets so that we could message them and we could actually convert them in the end. So here are a couple of steps, or more of like the process side of things. First, we established messaging based on ICP and the transformation that we sell. This helped us define this transformation statements that I help ideal client profile go from current state to desired state with unique method in offer timeline. Then we asked our virtual assistant to find 20 viral reels that fit the right messaging, and then we selected the best 9 to recreate and help Naj script and edit them. After all this was said and done, we had a whole lineup of reels that were focused on the transformation that we were selling. Not all of them had direct CTAs. A lot of them only had lead magnets or just drove traffic to Naj's Instagram page. But this one in specific, this was the direct offer. I'll not be going into details on that one. However, I will be on another video. So now that you have a filled calendar, now that you have so many leads that you practically can't even service them, and now that you have a great funnel that actually converts those leads into qualified, booked, and educated and ready to buy calls, and as you can see, that actually happened, what do you do from there? You actually have to convert them. You actually have to optimize the sales process so that people not only show up to the call, not only are educated, qualified, and ready to buy, but also hand you their money. And they feel like that you are doing them a service by offering such a great offer in exchange for comparatively little money, even if it's thousands of dollars. So here in the sales process, you can see that we have outlined everything very clearly in Naj's Notion page. There are a couple of things to the process. First, you have to perfect the script, which is a 3-part script essentially. First, the discovery with the 7 doors framework. I'll be doing a separate video on that one. Then the pitch, and then the close. Second is the payment processing. Here you have options, multiple options of Stripe, for example, using WAP and like. For this, it's extremely important that you are aware of the common pitfalls, like how people can pay with Affirm and Klarna, how payment plans work, how you can manage deposits and the dynamic invoicing, and how you can integrate a contract in terms of service when someone pays money upfront. So this is also a very technical video that will be coming in the future. Then third, you have tracking, which will allow you to track revenue, cash collected, payment plans, follow-ups, show-up rate, and stuff like that. After you have done everything up here, then you can go down to the follow-up SOP to never let leads off the hook, and then obviously perfect the onboarding, which will allow people to see the next steps clearly and have a guided experience the whole way through, instead of being lost in the ether, instead of being lost between calls, not knowing when the next call will be, not knowing if this is a right decision that they made, because most of the sales are lost. Most of the refunds, chargebacks happen in the first 2 to 3 days after close, because people get cold feet, people start to think XYZ, they don't get the necessary attention that they need. So this is exactly why you need to ensure that all of these are set up before you start selling, before you start asking for thousands of dollars. But once you have implemented all of this above, once you have got to know your audience, once you have created offer that actually works for that audience, people want to buy, once you have a strategy, a funnel that converts people into qualified booked calls, once you have a sales process, once you have a traffic that actually allows people to see your offer, once you have a sales process that converts people reliably, and does not make everything here go to waste, then you can finally start to expect results like this: closing $3,500 deals, closing $2,500 deals, collecting up nearly $10,000 in cash and after fees in the first 30 days of even launching your coaching program without having to have it built out to the T. Because with regards to the product development, there is a specific strategy. Many people call it selling air. I don't like to call it that. It's more of like you ask the audience what they want, then you build the first modules, and then you make the coaching program an ongoing coaching program, which is a 6-week program, and people don't get access to the second week on the first week just yet. So that gives you time to build out the coaching program while you have clients actively taking it, while you have clients who have already paid you for the program. And you should be confident in doing this because you have been in the game for years and sometimes even decades. So if this video gave you any new information and you would like to see how these particular systems can be implemented for you specifically, how you can specifically find out who your audience is, how you can craft the offer, and what sort of funnels would work best for you, then go to the link below where you will find our website. And if you're interested, then we can go over your client acquisition system, draw up a custom roadmap as to how you can improve things, how you can scale your business specifically, and take the next steps if appropriate. Thanks for watching this video. Have a nice day.